You're now being recorded. Welcome, everyone. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 951. Tonight, I'm going to talk about something because my grandchildren are down visiting right now. So I'm going to introduce them in the beginning of the show. If you're listening to this on just audio, definitely go to YouTube and check out the beginning of the show when you get a chance. Then it's all about email migrations, BitTitan, and migrating Microsoft 365 away from GoDaddy. And then Apple has changed all of the naming conventions for all their new OS updates. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let me introduce, and we'll go the youngest first. Matt. Oh, you're on that side. Come. Everything's like reversed. This is Matthew. Come say hello. Say hello. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. So what grade did you start in next year?
Seventh.
7th grade. So this is Matthew. And then I know Michael Henry Smith III, my grandson. And he is 18, graduated high school just, a week ago? Yes. And is starting, and he's wearing a Widener shirt. He starts Widener University in the fall. Matter of fact, you're visiting in June, right? Next week. Not next week, the week after.
Yes.
Yes. So come to the mic. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, what are you majoring in?
Robotics engineering.
Okay. He's going to major in robotics engineering. And you're in a club right now in high school. You were. What did they call the club? Just the robotics?
Yeah, robotics club.
Yeah, and he would compete against other high schools and everything. So you did well in school, right? Both of you did. Yeah. Okay. You know what? We'll get maybe in a future show. I'll actually have them sit for the whole show as guests, like I've done your uncles. Ryan, Tyler, and your dad. So. Anyway, you definitely feel old when your oldest grandchild is starting college. So, all right, guys, I'll be out there in like an hour and a half or so. So, all right,
okay,
all right, bye. Now you got to go. You got to go to the pool tomorrow. Matthew was at the pool with my wife earlier, so that's cool. We just had pizza for dinner. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna do my show. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. That was Matthew and Michael. And just take a second to introduce. Now, anybody watching, and that's why the beginning of the show is cool to watch, and go to youtube.com / Michael Smith MTS for YouTube. And what you're going to see is now above my television, there used to be just a Phillies banner. Now, I'm a huge Phillies fan. And after Christmas, I talked about the gift that my children pulled together and bought me. And the shipping, because it's so big, we figured would wait until my wife was driving down. And this was the first time she drove down. And what they did, you would, hey, you know what? I'll do that. Someone just suggested have my kids. Now, Matthew doesn't like music as much as my oldest, Michael III. He was just at Metallica and everything. He likes hard rock, hard music. So that's a good idea, Tim. In the chat, recommending the grandkids hang out for the post show. I will absolutely do that. The second, give me a second. I lost my train of thought. Oh, so they found and bought, like, what do you get? The person who has unbelievable Phillies memorabilia, it is a WWE championship belt that's Phillies. And it's heavy. It's great. Now, what I'm going to do, and this is the first links, the first link for the night, is showing you how do you mount this. And if you take a look, there is a site that I'm going to recommend, and it's polyforge3d.com. He literally uses a 3D printer to print the belts. So this is very, very cool. And I found them from a video on YouTube where someone was demonstrating and recommending this. And I ordered them, and I ordered the default black. I have to get red. Now, I was talking about this in the pre-show, and Taz recommended, he says, Mike, why don't you just spray paint it red? And I was like, that's a good idea, but I'm also very lazy, and I don't know if I'll make the time. But I'm going to get the red if they can, and I think they can do this, custom a white P on the red bracket, and I think that'll look awesome. And then while I'm demonstrating this is, a close-up of the belt, and you can see the price. It's like, that's crazy numbers. Now I can see why my three sons pulled together on that. So it is the full championship belt, and I needed to just talk about that because now that is going to be what is visible all the time when I'm on the air down in Florida. That's going to be hanging above the TV. And I just wanted to, this is sharing a lot of my stuff. There's Ryan in the chat. That's cool. So it's, it's funny. The guy who was helping me hang it, he said, "Oh, Mike, you should have got red." And he's right. I mean, it looks good. Everything's nice, but but I think the red with a white P, and I'll wait until I get back. So that's anyway. I just had to do that. Before we get into the rest of the content, I want to thank Instant House Call for continued being a sponsor of the Mike Tech Show podcast, and they still have an incredible deal for 1 full year. The full license of Instant House Call, $7 for the first year. That is amazing. And just go to my main website, miketechshow.com, and click on the offer, and then you can scroll down. There's an order page. There's all the details, unlimited, unattended endpoints. Think about that. You can put this and have unattended access on all your clients. It is incredible. You can be connecting to 10 concurrent sessions at the same time on weekends when we're doing massive updates sometime. I as many systems as I can manage remotely. So I'll break up my screens and put on multiple computers. You got to check it out. It's an incredible deal. And that is Instant House Call. And for more details, just come to the website and click on it, and you will love it. All right. So it's really an email that I came across, that I got this week from a client, a listener, Daryl, who was asking the following. And he says, I have a question about migration. I need to move from Rackspace to Zoho Mail for 17 users. Plus, I have a few accounts that are with Outlook. They were originally Exchange accounts, but got messed up when Rackspace was compromised a few years ago. Can you suggest a software or procedure to migrate? I know you're the migrate king. Well, I'm trying to be. Any suggestions? And you know what, Daryl? I sent him back the link, which is the first link for tonight. The gold standard for email migrations is BitTitan. So let me show you all BitTitan right now, and give you a second. Let me bring up my test system that I have, and here we go. So just go to BitTitan. That's with a double T, IAN, BitTitan.com, and I have the link. It's going to be in the show notes, and from the exact mailbox migration. I have done several migrations. I'll tell you, the ones that I did were from Google Workspace to Microsoft 365. You can also go from Microsoft 365 to Microsoft 365 if you're taking over a tenant. So one of the things you want to do is test, sign up, and check it out and do a test migration. So you have the sources, Microsoft 365, Exchange, any hosted Exchange, like maybe it's ShareWeb, G Suite, Zimbra, and then just IMAP and POP. You can go to Microsoft 365 or go to G Suite or go to IMAP. So going from anywhere to anywhere, and it's in stages. You create a project, then you start buying the accounts that you want, because you have to have a separate account for each one if you're going to be migrating, or you just create one and do a test. Once you get the source, the destination laid out, they have great instructions. Now, when you get the accounts, you can do a test migration, and it'll migrate all of the mailbox items. It'll migrate everything up to that point. Now, let's say you have a lot of big mailboxes. You don't have to worry about doing the final migration until you're ready. And then it's only going to migrate the difference from the last date that you started the migration. This makes it so much easier. So first you do a test and it sees, is there any kind of a problem? It'll tell you right away. The pricing is pretty good. $14 is the full mailbox migration, and up to 50 gig of data. You can certainly add more, and then they have team pricing, user migration bundles, a whole tenant migration bundle. There are these are the popular migration tools. They have lots of pricing options for you, and you can just check it out. So I sent Daryl this, and Daryl, let me know if you got any questions or anything. There's support. The only bad thing for support is it's only via email, and so you kind of have to wait if you have a question. So, all right, that's BitTitan, and I've talked about them a few times. It's definitely worth it. It's a one-time price per user for a migration, and you just build that into your migration pricing model. So when we're speaking of migrations, one of the things that I have not done that I am going to be doing over the summer is there's a client that has 17 accounts, and they're on Microsoft 365, but from GoDaddy, which is different than if you had been directly with GoDaddy. And anybody that's in this scenario understands. And this is the GoDaddy white paper that I'm going to link, which is move my Microsoft 365 email away from GoDaddy. And there is a step-by-step guide. And I am going to be following this, and I will talk about it when after I'm done, and hopefully this will go well. And they have the move process, confirm your email accounts are active and don't expire within the next 5 business days. Then they have contact, a GoDaddy guide. So you have to submit a request, and they'll create a ticket for your move request. And then after the ticket is created, we'll send a temporary password to your GoDaddy account's email address on the next business day. And then you'll need to sign into your existing tenant at Microsoft directly using the temporary password we send you. So there's a whole process here. And then, they have requirements for the move. And I'm just going to take step by step and follow each one and make sure this is correct. And hopefully this will go well. I'm going to learn a lot about what you have to do for licensing and getting out of the grips of GoDaddy so you can be independent on your own tenant that you fully manage and have full control of. on Microsoft 365. And that's the way to do this. I don't understand why they didn't just resell it and have a portal where you and then go in. Because like even SureWeb, I can purchase Microsoft 365 that I can then go right into, and I have full control of the admin. Now, one of the things I don't like about doing it that way is if I have a technical question, I cannot go direct to Microsoft. I have to do it via SureWeb. Luckily, for the clients that have been doing that, I haven't needed that. But other clients, which I've talked about, Microsoft Business 365 support is really, really good. I've been very happy. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to Uncle Marv from Uncle Marv's business podcast, and he agrees. Anytime he's had a deal directly with Microsoft, he's been very, very happy. So their support is definitely improved. And they were very good at getting back to me on the phone, remoted in, and they don't change anything. They'll just circle and highlight what they want you to click on. And it was really good. So I've had very good experiences. SureWeb, I've talked about half and half for support. Now, lately, on SureWeb hosted Exchange problems, they have been responding and fixing what I've asked and what I've ran into. So I've seen their support, which went way, way, way down, has definitely did an uptick. So one of the things for any email migration is planning the DNS. And you have to make sure that you own and have full control of the DNS. And I always run into problems with new clients where they think they have control, but it was the web designer that changed the name servers, and you don't have control. You don't want to leave the timing of an email migration where the changing in of the DNS is so critical. You don't want to leave that in the hands of someone else that you got to communicate with. You don't want to do that. So you want to get control. So before any migration, make sure you have full control of the DNS. If it's GoDaddy, if it's Network Solutions, wherever it is, make sure you can go in and you can change it where the name servers are where the domain is. So that's one of the biggest problems we've ran into. So then when it comes to Microsoft accounts, you run into, well, what if a user bought Microsoft 365 personal, but they use the business email? That happens a lot. And that's why Microsoft, when you are logging in, if it notices that, it says, is this work and school or personal? And if it's the business, you pick work. And if you try to get away from the personal. Once you have it all set up for the business, then if they still need the personal for someone else, then switch the primary email for that. And there's a process, and I think I actually talked about that once in a past show. So that's it for migrations. If you have any questions about that, make sure to email me, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. Now, the last link for the night is, I noticed this when I always go to Mac Rumors. Love that site for anything iOS related, anything MacBook related, or my MacBook Pro, my iPad. Well, everything coming out in 2025 is now going to have a new version number, and it's going to be 26. And I see what they're doing here, and we're talking Watch OS 26, TV OS 26, iPad OS 26, iOS 26, and even Mac OS 26 for the Mac. And that represents the time from September in 2025 through September 2026. So when we hit September in 2026, we're going to get version 27 for everything. And each year, a new version. Now, I'm sure they're going to have 26.1 for somebody and .2 or whatever. Like during the year, you're going to have those interim fixes as they repair things and problems. But that was just interesting. I wanted to give everybody a heads up for the big change that everything's going to be named. Where right now we're currently at Mac OS 15. But the next one that's going to be named Tahoe is just going to be Mac OS 26. So instead of 16. So figured with that happening, wanted to just give everybody a heads up so this way you know, and when you're talking to your clients or whatever, that's it. That is it. Not a long show tonight because I got lots of company here and got a busy week before I head back. The next week's show will be from here Thursday night, all going well. I have a new system I have to set up and install in St. Pete on Wednesday, and I'm going to take my oldest grandson with me to help me set that up, which he's done often for clients. So that's Mikey, Michael III has helped my son and I on projects where we needed another pair of hands, and that was great. We had an all hands for one of my clients. It was a big dental office set up, and I literally had all three of my sons and my grandson, and that was great. Matter of fact, the main dentist, when he was over the one day in the weekend, he loved that. He says, "I love that there's 3 generations of you know, helping me out here." So they really like that. It's a true family business. So that is it. Hope you enjoyed the show, and be back here same time, same channel. Don't forget, check out Instant House Call. Don't forget, hit the main website for any information. You go to MikeTechShow.com. That'll flip you to MikeNation.net. That's it. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe. See you next week. Bye-bye.